Hello everybody, it's your Peacekeeper, coming at you with a premium ship review, just in time for it to come off of the sale in the premium shop in the next couple of days. That's alright though, I should have gotten around to this earlier, but you know, things happen. And I was looking for a good video to really show off the traits of this ship. This is, of course, the German battleship Scharnhorst, the Tier 7 Premium that so many people have come to hate and love and love and hate. Me personally, I love this ship. She has yet to let me down, and I think I got a pretty decent record with her. Now, in my How to Play series, I go through all the history. If you really want to go through the history, I recommend iChase's video on this. He goes into way more depth than I care to ever go into on it. Really, all you need to know is that these two, this and the Gneisenau, were basically identical ships. There were some mild changes between the two, like the Gneisenau was longer. And they were supposedly planned to have 15-inch gun upgrades, which is why the Gneisenau in this game has the 15-inch gun upgrades, and the Scharnhorst does not. With that said, the guns on this ship are intended specifically for merchant raiding. However, they are powerful enough to do some pretty serious damage to battleships too, so it's not like it's completely useless in that role. But let's run down our hit points and all of our stats. In terms of survivability, she has 56,300 hit points, a crap ton of armor, next to no torpedo protection for battleship. Her main battery consists of 3 turrets with 3 guns each. They are 11-inch guns. Her secondary armament, which is one of her strong suits, she has a whole bunch of secondary guns. She's got 12 150mm guns and 14 105mm guns. She is also equipped with torpedoes. I don't know why they're called drilling torpedo. I don't know what that's all about. That's interesting, though. There are 2 of them, one on each side. They are triple launchers. They have a 6-knot range and a 64-knot speed. Sorry, they have a 6-kilometer range, 64-knot speed. They do 14,000 damage a hit. In terms of AA, she does have a pretty impressive AA suite, considering it's a German battleship. Of course, the strength in her anti-aircraft suite comes from the dual-purpose mount 14 of the 105mm. Those guns actually do a pretty good amount of damage, 128. And of course, these other ones, they don't do nearly as much damage, but they're much higher rate of fire. For the most part, her AA is comparable with other Tier 7s. She has a 30-knot top speed, 800-meter turning circle, and an 11.6-second rudder shift time. She has a 15.2-kilometer detection range by sea and 12.4 detection range by air. In terms of our upgrade slots, because I am an absolute whore for the main guns on this thing, I'm going to take Main Armament Mod 1, Aiming Systems Mod 1, although if you are looking to do a secondary build, there is Secondary Mod, Battery Mod 2 there for you. I am then going to take Damage Control Systems Mod 1, followed by Steering Gears Mod 2 for the decreased rudder shift time. This ship will catch up a lot of people because they're expecting it to play like other battleships in the game, which means the sit back and snipe at our max range thing. You can kind of do that with the Scharnhorst. However, you're going to be poorly rewarded with damage output, and then you're going to become very frustrated, or you're going to start spamming HE. Please don't do that. You can do that, just please don't do that all the time. And really, at the end of the day, what you're accomplishing is very little damage. You're frustrated because you spent $45+ on a ship, and it doesn't perform. You need to play it correctly. These ships, like all the German battleships, are extremely good at close ranges. And by extremely good, I really mean they're bordering on overpowering at close ranges. The combination of quick turning, hard hitting, flat shooting, 11-inch guns, followed by torpedoes and a crap ton of armor and speed means she can get in, screw everybody up, turn tail, and go, bye, I unfriend you, and then is gone. And all the rest of the ships are going, where did he go? This makes absolutely no sense. And to demonstrate exactly how you should play it, I'm going to post, I don't think this is my best game in the ship. It very well could be. I'm going to post 142,000 damage game. I have another one that I'm going to throw up in the Epic Battles video that is about the same. That was literally the game right after it. Unfortunately, both of them are losses, but, you know, whatever. So anyway, let's go ahead and get on to that video. So in this video, we are on New Dawn, which is an interesting map for a Tier 7 fight. Not a bad map by any stretch of the imagination, but just an interesting map for a Tier 7 fight. Me personally, I really enjoy these maps, these lower tier maps, as some people would like to call them, specifically because the closer ranges really force people into close engagements. I think it makes for gameplay, a lot better gameplay. Some people don't really care for it, but I really enjoy the piss out of it. Now, in this game, we've got a lot of communication going on throughout the entire game. And for a pub match, this is just absolutely brilliant team play between both teams, really, in the entire thing. But it all kind of falls apart. And as I said in the first part of this video, unfortunately, it comes out to be a loss. And it's not like I didn't do my part. I mean, I did my best to carry the team, but I can only carry so hard. Now, one of the, as I was beginning to say, you know, in the first part of this, is that the guns on this ship are the part that catch people up. They see 11 inches, they see high velocity, and they're going, okay, well, it should do okay. Forget citadeling battleships with any regularity. Settle for large amounts of white damage. And that's going to sound really, really convoluted if you're used to playing the stereotypical battleship where, well, I'm just going to go ahead and engage this broadside ship to me. I'm going to delete them off the face of the earth. It's not going to happen that often in the Scharnhorst. What you will see, though, is you will see large amounts of white damage being dealt to enemy ships. That Bayern that I shot at the beginning of this, no damage. Kind of rough. That happens more than I'd like to admit. And that's not an issue with aiming or anything like that. The one downside that the Scharnhorst has is that her dispersion is really, really bad. But the first big solid hit we do get, Citadel. Huh. Granted, it's an Omaha. This ship is really good at killing cruisers. Her turret traverse makes it absolutely one of her strongest suits. And it would be a shame to spam HE in this thing like some form of light cruiser would just to try and get damage in. Especially when you can do damage like that. Now in this game, I'm really, really hoping that we can catch B. Unfortunately, our team didn't do what I asked them to. I asked him quite simply to somebody support the DD at B so that he doesn't get stuck in there with a cruiser like he is. Imagine that. People on a pub not listening. No way. I don't know what their carrier's really doing. I think he just kind of, I don't know. I think he forgot what he was doing, really. I mean, I don't know of any better way to explain that, but I don't know. We're going to take a pot shot here at this Nuremberg, and he is shooting HE at me and is being a very big, annoying ship, so we'll see what we can do to him. Oh, 5K. Okay, that's respectable. It's not the world's biggest amount of damage, but at this tier, a Nuremberg has, you know, that's probably a eighth of his hit points. So you can see he's taking some damage. I mean, we're gonna have to get over that big damage roll thing that we're used to seeing. You know, the big, like, oh, I just did 25,000 damage. Oh my God, that was incredible. I mean, those rolls will still happen, but they're gonna happen in much different circumstances than we are actually used to. So here we're gonna, well, we're gonna split ourselves a little bit. Unfortunately, we're gonna try and catch this Minakaze as he comes around the corner, but we're also not gonna forget about our Nuremberg up here because, let's face it, he's an HE spammer, and HE spammers need punished. Lost sight of the Minakaze. We are still doing damage. Did 3,000 damage actually to that Nuremberg with that last salvo. So he's getting beat up pretty bad here, which is fine by me. HE spammers, good riddance. That is one downside to these ships. They do tend to start on fire really easily. And here's one of the best parts of these guns. Normal battleships firing at this tier, 16-inch guns, or there's the WASD hacks going together, 15-inch guns or 16-inch guns or 14-inch guns. All of those ships would hugely overpen destroyers. And one of the nice, strong aspects of this ship is that because you are shooting an 11-inch shell and because it doesn't have the world's greatest penetration values, you can use all of that power you can use all of that power to really nuke down some destroyers and punish them. And the best part is that they go, oh, he's a big dumb battleship, I'm gonna go torp him, and you're like, nope. And it's even better when they line up and give you that. Oh, see? And here's what I'm talking about with the 10k rolls. You're going to see a lot of white damage, but you're not going to see as much of the citadels. But when a destroyer lines up to you and he gets all bow onto you, your guns have an even better chance of just penetrating rather than over-penetrating. So there's 6k off of a New York. Again, not huge damage rolls, but not bad. We got ourselves a Nagato over here, so let's take advantage of him. I mean, he's going to hang out broadside. Let's do it. Let's screw him up. And really, this is what you're going to have to do. There's an 8k. So not a citadel, but still doing a lot of damage. But what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to be paying attention to ships that are in your area. You're going to have to be up close and personal. Here I am sitting in smoke, firing at a Gneisenau. 2,500 damage. Not a whole lot of damage because I've led him too far. That's alright. You know, you take what you get. And because we got ships that are broadside to me, we're just going to take advantage of them. I mean, seriously. Why not? You know? So, here we are again. Okay, 760 damage, a lot of overpens. Alright, you know. Just, we're not doing a whole lot of damage here, and that's okay. And like I said before, it's not going to be a ship that you're going to be able to just citadel the crap out of anything that's broadside to you. You are going to have to be patient. You are going to have to take advantage of situations. 10,000 damage off of New York. It's a tier 5 battleship. It does have a lot of armor, so that's not terribly unimpressive. We got ourselves a Bayern here. The new German battleship line is very resilient and when played correctly is very capable. So we want to go ahead and take him out of the fight as soon as we can. Unfortunately, we're going to lose a destroyer in this mess. There's a Minakaze there that's hiding in his smoke there, but we're going to go ahead and we're going to throw some shells in there. Get an overpen. Overpen damage on a destroyer, if it adds up. We got ourselves a little Gneisenau hang out up there. We got a Nagato, New York. I'd like to kill this Nagato. Well, we'll go ahead and shoot at the New York. And we're going to duck around the other side of this island here because we're kind of out by ourselves. Unfortunately, I wish I would have stayed over there. Mostly because had I, you know, not gotten all red misted, I would have stayed alive and I would have been able to get even more damage. But as you can see, it is taking hits. I mean, that Nagato, before he died, he fired off a salvo and, you know, didn't take a whole lot of hit points off. Another 3,000 on the New York, so again, not a huge damage roll. We're just going to keep on chugging on at stuff. At this point, a lot of times people would be like, switching to HE, switching to HE, switching to HE. No, it's definitely not worth it, guys. I mean, unless the ship is bow on or tail on to you, it's just not worth it. I mean, look at that. That's 10,000 damage, and I'm missing 3 shells because they hit the island. It's not like that's an insignificant amount of damage. That is definitely a workable amount of damage. And 10,000 damage is respectable even for a regular battleship. So to consider that, you know, that New York has a lot of belt armor. Not a whole lot of deck armor, but a lot of belt armor. You know, okay, 760 damage. Yep, that's going to be a common number when you're shooting at extended ranges at ships. I'm trying to take advantage of ships that have, you know, a lot of armor up there. But really the key here is this ship is unequivocally a brawler. It is a brawler through and through. And there's 11k taken off of a New York. So it's not that these ships can't do damage to other battleships. Look at the ranges that I'm engaging at. 8 kilometers. You're going to have to get over that desire to sit in the back and snipe, and you're going to have to get up in front. 6k, or 5.5, however you want to word it. Here we are taking a Bayern, and we are bouncing shells. Bounce, bounce. We're getting lots of bounces. Don't forget you have torpedoes. I should have launched those short, and I launched them long, unfortunately. And this is a mistake on my part. We should be turning out a lot quicker than we currently are. We should have been turning out a lot sooner than we were. Unfortunately, I'm trying to get my turrets to catch up, and, well, that was a pretty stout hit. And there's another pretty stout hit. And like all other battleships, it requires some level of angling to be most effective. And once you get some level of angling in there, she doesn't take that much damage. It actually doesn't take a whole lot of damage at all. And there's 7.5k. And you can see here as I'm turning back, I've got their whole team distracted right now. The whole team is distracted. There's high caliber from a secondary hit. We're going to go ahead and launch torpedoes at the Bayern as my final parting gift here. And I think I get one. Nope, I don't even get one more salvo off. So, as you can see, there's a lot of ways to do damage, and had I been paying attention to the rest of my team, I would have noticed that none of them were up by me, and I probably should have turned back sooner, but, you know, hindsight being 20/20. Had I not done that, I probably could have stayed alive, and we probably could have won this. This Bayern is going to flood out, and that will be really the end of this match. To summarize what happens, we have an Arizona on our team that was deciding to shoot HE for the whole game. Decides that he's going to shoot HE at some of the ships that were there. Our carrier does his dangdest. There goes the Bayern. Our carrier does his dangdest to try and take out as many people as he can. The enemy carrier gets taken out. I mean, this actually almost came back here, but it ended up losing to points, and well, that's kind of unfortunate. Boom! There goes a Mahan. We're going to go ahead and we're going to skip to the credits here because, like I said, we end up losing. It's a pretty close game. It's not terrible, but all right. 141,433 damage, 1,218 base XP. Our carrier did amazing. Let's compliment him. And you can see where the rest of the team was at. I mean, that carrier, he just played hard. There you can see the damage screen, and then, of course, the credits. This has been my review of the Scharnhorst. I really do love her. She has a permanent spot in my port, and I use her all the time for credit grinding. I think she's better than the Tirpitz is, and in my opinion is worth the investment. And I realize I say that now with 2 days left in the sale. So if you're on the fence and you want the ship, but you're not sure if you want it, buy it. You will not regret this. I promise you. Anyway, this is your Peacekeeper. As with everything, like, comment, and subscribe, and thank you guys for watching.